Hey, what's up, guys? Gonna try playing a new opponent, somebody I haven't played yet, and since I haven't actually asked him if it's okay to put this game on YouTube, I'm not gonna say his name. You could always figure out what it is if you wanted to finger him, but he's about a 17 to 1800 rated player from America. Um, yeah, I set the time a little bit shorter just to be consistent with what he likes to play on ISC. But yeah, here we go. Got the choice between Viper, the new word Pervo, or Vox. Vox is going to keep the nicest leave in terms of bingoing, P-E-I-R. But Pervo is nice and defensive. I could win a challenge on it. And I'm going to hold the X for scoring pretty well next turn. So if he does make an overlapping play forming RE, I wreck him with XI. If he plays through the E, I can cash the X a decent amount of the time. If he plays under the P, I'm probably going to cash it. So I like keeping the X here, and I like making this Pervo play for a lot of different reasons. I'm going to play it vertically because I can. Don't draw another vowel, so that's going to make cashing my X a lot harder, but at least I drew an N, so I could make Nix, a three-letter word, with it. Yeah, we'll see what kind of plays he gives me, because... Oh, he's not going to give me anything, actually. He's going to get to cash out JUY for 30 points, so that hurts. That's a pretty bad rack otherwise. And it doesn't really give me a lot of options. He's continuing with the defensive plays. So if I want to keep things shut off, I can play XI. I'll hold an I so I can make an overlap, and unless he's got an I or a U, it's tough for him to go over here. Downfalls to that play are I don't hold very well. I, in fact, don't hold any words that go here at all. I probably draw something, but not 100% of the time. And if he does bingo, I'm really not holding well, and I'm going to have a really weak counter to his bingo. The way this board is shaped right now, a bingo here is going to be a huge play, or having an S and bingoing here. And other than that, you know, if you don't have a play here, you don't have a bingo, you're not going to be scoring very many points at all. So those are some downfalls. Just notice Nixie, and that seems to be a far superior play. It makes it easier for him to play here, but it's also way fewer points. He's not overlapping an X. It's going to be 7 less. So Nixie seems to be the right thing to do, and I'm going to put that down. Not super thrilled about keeping these duplicate Rs, but it's not the worst thing. And yeah, I'm not going to triplicate them, which is really the big fear with keeping double Rs. Well, that and also drawing something like IILNRRT, a rack where you're not close to a bingo and you just can't score any points. That doesn't happen, I'm okay, and I can play like Crow or, you know, something next turn and score some points. Board's pretty bad right now, but I imagine I'll get somewhere to play. He exchanges a lot more often than on a normal board in this situation, but I feel like he'll probably make a play, and I can try and react in some way. Arco is something I can do, and that's going to open up 2 new bingo lines. It's going to set up 4-letter words ending in something E. Now I can look over here, and he has indeed given me plays. He set up a spot to play my W. PIN takes the back A, so I can play War, keeping CIOR. I can go ahead and put down the I, get 2 extra points, and keep 1 fewer vowel, and that's what I'm going to decide to do. Not much to say about that. CIOR is almost certainly a worse leave than COR, especially in my book. I really don't like keeping more vowels than I have to. That's rough for me. He bingos with demoting as I'm holding on to control, and I'm sure I've got a couple other bingos in there. Locator, I think, would have gone right here, and does not anymore. So that sucks. Could have something through that I. I'm not totally sure. It's going to be something I'll look for a little bit. But yeah, if I don't hit a bingo over here, I'm in the situation I was trying to put him in, where there's no plays. There's COO. I'll score decently and not really give anything back to him, so he's going to have almost no choice but to open, barring some like word ending in SS over here. But I'm not totally sure. I don't have a bingo yet. I want to keep looking for a while. Probably through the eye is my best chance. But I'm just not really seeing a bingo in the right spot. I see colorist cortisol, but you know I need the I as the second letter. That's not gonna do it. I mean I've got a lot of different letters I can start with. I can start with a D. I can play doctoral or doctoral or something. Or in fact, I can play Dr. Lee. That's got to be the play. I want to put the Y here. It's a blank, so it's not gonna score in very many points, and it's gonna be a little tougher to put a higher scoring tile here compared to the L. So that's gonna be the play, I think. Maybe I missed something from the G, but yeah. I've drawn Ropeway as a natural bingo here. No spot for sevens really on this board. I'm almost certain demoting does not take an S. I feel like I've seen that before. Ropeway's not going to fit right now, but I could get a spot for it if he makes a play over here. That'd be real nice. If not, Yaoi is a word, so I can get rid of the WY together and score pretty well. I've got a decent rack for some sort of stack on top of a play he makes. YOW is always a good stack for a lot of points. We'll see what I get. Plays over here would also be pretty nice, like 38 points for Raleigh, maybe even more if I end up getting to stack the right stuff in the right spot. That's not going to happen, though. He cashes in a high-scoring tile right there where I said it'd be harder for him to do it. And it was a tile that probably wouldn't have been cashed in next to an L. HL is just not a common combination in words. Also, don't get a spot for Ropeway. That's unfortunate. And that is the only 7 in this rack, unless they've added a new word that I haven't studied, but I think I've learned all of those, at least in this range. So I think that's it. I won't be bingoing this turn. And I won't be cashing in any sort of plays at all. Youch. Oh, sick. I have the new word whoopie. I'm almost certain this is good. I know whoopies, W-O-O-P-I-E-S, is good. That's 34 points, holds AER. Again, not too keen on holding those vowels, but you know, it's so many points. Cleans up the rack when I didn't really see any other plays at all. And I managed to draw pretty well out of it. I think ungraced is good. I'm not totally sure, but it doesn't fit through this C anyway. Don't see anything that's going to go down. No bingos. This rack doesn't have any 7s in it. I do know that for sure. This is tough. This is such a strange board, such a strange game right now. I could put down grunged and just turn over all of these tiles, kind of knock out the last bingo line except for marginal things through this C or through this U for like 62 points, and just keep rolling with it. You know, I go up about 10, it's his turn, it's a neutral game at this point. I've just turned over a bunch of tiles into a pool that looks pretty nice. I mean, all these S's, the blanks, all these E's. Could end up pretty vowel heavy though, so let me go ahead and check this out. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13... 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24 vowels out of 49 tiles. So I'm almost, that's very vowel heavy, even, you know, for this early in the game when it's not too likely to be pretty defined one way or the other. So that's something I want to take into consideration. And if I do play grunged and knock everything out, I'm holding a vowel. It's probably going to be rough. So I can play Argued instead. It's going to set up more points for him in response, either here or here. I don't really mind either of these plays because both of them will give me a triple word back. It does keep the R open here, and the C is more open for bingos. A bingo from the C would be absolutely devastating for me. But I'm going to hold a consonant, and that seems to be pretty important right now. The new word egged is also a consideration to make here. Pretty sure that's a new word. I think egged and OG'd, O-G-E-D, are both good. And that's going to hold 2 consonants. And just because of this extreme ratio down here, I think that's what I'm going to do. You know, make my 5-tile play, keep the consonants. And I'm kind of glad I did. So I did pick up several vowels. I have lonelier now without one of the E's. This rec also doesn't bingo, as far as I know. And I win a challenge on the new word egged, so that's nice. So now I'm up 10 points, and it's my turn. And now I can play golden. Doesn't take an S, so I don't have to worry about that. Knocks out this line here. Although I don't think he challenges that word if he has a bingo. Well, I do think he does, because that's just a word that somebody of his caliber would know. Not really too worried about playing off the E in golden either. Usually I'd be more averse to doing that, but there are just so many of them left. There's 7. I'm probably going to draw one. So I like how much this closes down the board, how it just knocks everything out. It puts the N down too. There's only 1 R left, there's 2 N's, so golder, I'm pretty sure that's a word, would be an inferior play by a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Leaves me a little bit prone to a play right here that's going to open things up, but I'm holding pretty well. I'll probably draw one of these E's, or at least one of those A's, and be balanced next turn, so I don't care if he opens. I'll probably hit him back. Now I've drawn the Z. That's going to allow me to score points next turn. Zorai over here is real nice. It's only 21 points, but it holds a beautiful leave in a situation where he's almost certainly going to be opening the board. Les is another play I can make over here. It's 34. It doesn't hold that well. I do hold an A for underneath, but there's also 4 of those left, and I'm not really holding much else unless I draw, like, I really don't know what I could draw. One question I need to be asking myself now is how much longer do I think I can conceivably stop him from bingoing? The board is in a shape right now that it's super tough to bingo. Pretty much the only spot it could even happen is an 8 fitting perfectly through this C. But the pool is just getting so nice. All these T's and S's and A's and E's and I's and the blank. But we're also vowel heavy, so I don't know. Can I stop him from bingoing all game, or do I have to accept right now that it's probably going to happen, and I just try and control when it happens and do damage control? Zori actually looks less appealing to me now that I think more about the vowel-consonant ratio. 4, 10, 15, 16, 17 vowels with 36 unseen tiles, so we're still just below 50-50, which is very vowel-heavy. One thing that is appealing about Zori is that I hold ace underneath, or maybe some sort of ACER word, and that's going to allow me to score a ton, but a concern with that is there's a bunch of A's and E's unseen, so I also give him those possibilities. And if I do draw 2 vowels and 1 consonant, which seems very likely at this point, and he does make the decision to open this turn, vowels are terrible for blocking the board. I'm not going to be able to address his opening if I make Zori. And he'll probably get a bingo. So another thing I could think about doing is just playing Les right now. He could conceivably bingo through the Z. It's probably not going to happen. But I think I'm going to play Zori and just keep things shut down. Didn't realize I was getting this low on time. Wow, so I'll try and speed things up a little bit. I've drawn this. Pretty sure there's no 7s in here. I'm trying to remember now if fungo takes an S. That's something I should have thought about. I'm almost certain it just takes an ES. And I'm prepared to challenge anything he puts down there pretty quickly. Yeah, I'm almost certain that's no good. I think it's just a matter of time probably before he makes some sort of play like face over here and opens the board, but he hasn't done it. And I have facer over here. There's no reason not to play that. I guess I should think about if I put the S down for another 7. If he does make a setup over here, I'd really like to have that S to pounce on it. But 7 points is a lot, and if we get into a game where neither one of us is going to bingo, I need all the points I can get. Another thing to think about is if I hold an S and I draw a second one, I get a huge spot over here. I am going to hold on to the S. That's the decision I'm making. I think about this more in a real game, but I just don't really have the time to do that. I've been talking a whole lot. He's going to immediately plunk an S here for 25. And the fact that he did that so quickly, he was so, not worried about getting rid of the S, implies to me that he has another one, maybe even two. So that's something to think about. I've got a decent rack, a lot of points available on this rack, but just no spot for him. No spot for him. Wow. I can't make a play like HI because I want to keep the board shut down. I don't want to let him bingo right now. I can make a play like AH, because there's so many vowels left, I can probably gamble with CDILS and get away with it. I'm just getting so low on time. EH doesn't take a back S, so I can actually make a play over here. Don't know if I want to play had, because that takes this back E. There's only two Bs and an M to burn me in this spot, though. So if he hits me, it's going to be probably 27, 20, like 35. That's not really points I want to give up, though. So I'm just going to put down HA. Just that. And I'll draw more vowels, which is kind of what I anticipated. So that's good. We'll see how he's able to respond. He's going to aggressively open a bingo line, finally. But that's unfortunate because I drew this rack and it doesn't bingo. I can't address everything. I can play caddies. It's not going to give him any triple plays, and it's going to block this off. I could put an E at the end to make Rube, but I don't want to do that. I want to play the S here so he can't bingo. And now I've got a rather significant advantage in this game. I'm suddenly at 50 points, and there's nowhere for him to bingo. So he's kind of fallen into my trap. I've just been waiting, holding on to these scoring tiles, waiting for him to get desperate with that blank and try to bingo, and then pouncing on it. And at the same time, gathering so many points that he's not able to outrun me. So now he needs that bingo and he can't get it. And that's good for me. He's probably going to try and set up one more bingo lane over here, and I have just expended that S. Expounded that S? Something that S. Got rid of that S. So it's going to be a little tougher for me to address this next one, but the line he's going to create is probably going to be less ideal than the last one he set up. So we'll see. I don't have the tiles to score very many points next turn, and that's going to be tough for me to deal with. Can't even find any sort of play over here. Lot, I guess, or let. I'd rather play let because of all the E's unseen, and I've got the last O, or the case O, as Scrabble players would say. Really do want to undouble these L's, so I think let's going to come down very fast if he doesn't try and open the board this turn, which he probably will. And we'll see. I don't think there's any tile that will go there. There's not a spot I have to worry about or think about anymore. Trying to think what happens if he takes this spot. Most likely I just stack right back in this spot with LO if he plays DA there, or LO if he plays DE there. But if I can't, I might have to make... I might just exchange. He can only put 3 tiles there. I really want to get rid of this, try and reach and get some of the new stuff. I can't score points with this rack no matter what, and I want different tiles on my rack so I can better address things he tries to open up. So I could just throw back, but I am forfeiting some of the points that I've just, gained. The worst case scenario, if he doesn't bingo, he plays here, I exchange, and then he has both S's and cashes them here for a lot. And remember, I pegged him for at least 1 S, maybe 2 after he makes this play. After this play, I'm guessing he's holding an E, an S, and a blank most of the time. So the pool is not as good as I think it is. There's probably a lot of vowels waiting for me. If I do exchange, I'm definitely holding the N. I'm not holding the T because there's 3 of those, but I'm probably going to exchange holding LN and nothing else. play over here in the K1 row for just a couple points would be pretty rough for me, but it also wouldn't. I couldn't really block down here. I don't have a good blocking tile. Everything I have takes several hooks behind it. But if I just play a little short word, like a 3-letter word there, from whatever tile he places there, I'm fine. The real concern is if he plays a 2-tile word, and I don't have the hook, and for some reason I'm unable to play underneath. But I think every tile out there, I have a vowel that goes underneath right now. I've got one for the B, the M, the S, and the T, so I'm fine. Don't have to worry about that yet. It's nice having the flexibility in my rack, the vowels and consonants together and the different stuff. If you're trying to play defense, having a bad rack can be pretty bad. Or rather, an unbalanced rack. He's going to do nothing really. He's just gonna keep the board closed, and so I'll play let really fast and just keep my time. I draw the last A, and that's interesting. Maybe he's trying to pull a challenge on Swoopy. Maybe he had double S's and he was just trying to get rid of one. But I don't see too many ways for him to win the game now. He can make a play here, and I just stack underneath and knock out the line. NAB, pretty much any play he puts there. I need to hold on to the T or the N to go behind that. He plays LEI. So yeah, he is going to open the board one more time. One last gasp of air for him. Does take it back S, and I just need to try and knock this out in some way. I can play Oat, and he would now need a bingo with 2 S's in a row in it, and I just don't really see one of those. The blank would have to be the S. He could burn the blank and play something like simple. Not simple, but a word with a similar effect for what, 8, 9, 10, 34? That's only 34, though. I think I can survive that if I'm holding well enough. So I'm going to play Oat, leave 1 in the bag, and see what he is able to do. I suppose also YS would bingo, but that's just not going to happen. I do have the B now, so I can make a bow play over here. If he plays mess or miss, I'm still in decent shape, I think. I can't make this play anymore, but I've got some stuff, and he's going to have all vowels. So I think I'm going to be able to eke this one out in a close end game and just take a win by about 10 or 20. I've also got OE over here. You know, if I had drawn more vowels, I think that'd be something I'd consider more. But I don't really want to keep all those consonants. There's not many things I can do with them. We'll see what he does. He's got, I guess, potentially he could just drop an S right there, make Spina. And I could knock out whatever he tries to open up. But that is a way for him to create another bingo line. He would draw Emeriti, the plural of emeritus, I guess, I don't know how to pluralize that word, or itemize would also go there. So I'd find a way to knock those out. But yeah, he's going to have to get rid of 1 tile and create a bingo line. I think that's the only way he could conceivably do that. And that's just not going to happen without me blocking. I've got the B, just BO would do it. How many points would mess be? 7, 8, 9, 10, 36? So yeah, I'd still have a relatively comfortable lead. He'd have a terrible rack, and I could probably go out before him. I just don't see a way I lose this game. But we'll see. I mean, I've had situations where I was more confident in my ability to win a game than right now, and I have lost. I wonder if Ungolden is good. I'm almost certain it's not, but that would be a filthy play if it were. I knew this was going to be a pretty closed game after the Pervo jury play happened, and then once demoting came down, that was pretty much it. You know the board. Like, there's just very few conceivable ways to work your way up here. And over here, yeah, we got a little bit over there, but you can kind of tell the shape of a board after the first couple of turns. You know, whether it's going to be wide open or very shut down. Sometimes it's more extreme than other games, and sometimes, you know, the first couple of turns look like it's going to be one kind of game, and then it's something totally different in the end, but a lot of the time you can tell, and I think that's one part of the game that a lot of people underrate is shaping the board from the first couple of turns. I think one of the Thai guys once drew an opening rack of Stainer, or maybe it was like 18 and a blank, and he spent, I think, 9 or 10 minutes just trying to figure out the absolute best bingo that shaped the board exactly the way he wanted to shape it. And like put out exactly the right tiles and exactly the right spots. And I don't know, you know, 18 and a blank, every bingo you're going to play is going to score 64, or Stainer, every bingo is going to score 66. I guess you could score 64 with that if you really wanted to. But, yeah, spent all that time on it. I think he did win the game eventually. A lot of the Thai players use every single second on their clock every game, and I believe the guy in the story was one of them. I feel like the guy was Panupal, but I don't remember for sure. Just noticed he could also play Simile, S-I-M-I-L-E. He'd be holding T-E. He'd be scoring 36. So that would put him at 332 to my 341. But if I just drop down B-O here, I was already up 9. Now I'm up 31. I'll lose 10 points, so I'm up 21. But there's no way he can put down TE and get 21 points. So I will be winning. One thing to think about now is if he plays Simile and Fungos. And I'd have to do the math. Almost certain Fungo doesn't take that S, but I'm just not certain enough to gamble the entire game on it. Let's see. Simile there would be... Oh, he's going to do neither. He's going to empty the bag and score 15 and keep EEIMST. So maybe Semite is a word, S-E-M-I-T-E. That would score, I don't think it is, but 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 33, 37. So that put him at 347. I'll be up to 363. I would win, but if he plays it with Fungo, 6, 33, 34, 35, 36, that's 43. I think I would lose by 1. But I don't think Semite is good, and I don't think Fungos is good. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. I could maybe make a play like Bento over here, but I just don't have the time to think about all that could give him back. B times, actually, I would have given him back. So he's not even going to take the risk with those plays, and again, I think he's doing the correct thing. I don't think they're words. He'll just play over here. And I've just got to find some sort of way to go out now. I don't think I'm going out this turn. I think he is. So I'll just find some play to make. Spread doesn't really matter in online games. Ang looks just about as good as anything else I'll find. So there we go. And he'll go out somewhere. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It looks decent. 10. Also decent. Is that also 10? Okay, he's got a lot of 10-point outs. And he'll take that one. So there's the game. Yep, like I said, I won by about 29. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something, and see you around.